Hey guys, how you doing? This is أ.معتز of اسماعيل speaking. This is lesson number 8 for listening and speaking 1. I hope you're doing very well. And our title today is Ted forms a rock band. Ted forms a rock band. Let's go very fast for the how Ted is planning to become a successful musician. And first, he needs Susan to loan him some money, to give him some money for his new guitar. The guitar is so expensive there. And Susan suggests that Ted bake cookies to earn the money. All right. So we will be having so many expressions and idioms. First, we need to discuss them in details, and then later on, we're gonna go for the conversation. The first one is beat around the bush. Beat around the bush, to talk around the subject. To talk around the subject, to not give the point, to avoid getting or giving the point that you actually want to provide or to convey. And example number 1, Kara beat around the bush for an hour. Then he finally told us she needed a ride to Kennedy Airport. So she was going around. She doesn't go straight to the point. She doesn't go straight to the point. Example number 2, if you want something, tell me. Don't beat around the bush, which means go straight to the point. Go straight to the point. Alright. A dozen, a dime, a dozen. Dime, a dozen. So plentiful as to be nothing special. Something common. Alright. Something common. Something trending among people. Example number 1, reality TV shows are a dime a dozen these days. A dime a dozen these days. Number 2, there are so many Starbucks coffee shops in Manhattan. Manhattan is a place in New York City, United States. They are a dime a dozen. They are a dime a dozen. But you have to take into consideration that this expression comes from the fact that a dime is worth only 10 cents. So very little value. Dime equals 10 cents. And 100 cents is 1,000 cents is going to be $1. So it's very little. It's very little. It doesn't have any kind of value. Alright, that's why I say the dime a dozen. So there are plenty of them. Good for you. Good for you. Good job. Well done. Alright, some people they say it good for ya. That's also true. Example number 1, you won $100,000 on the TV game show Jeopardy. Good for you. Good for you. Alright, like lucky you. Alright. Example number 2, you passed your math test. Good for you. Good for you. Hard times, at time of difficulty as we're having now with the coronavirus. It is a very hard time for our nation. So example number 1, since his wife left him for her dentist, Dan has been going through hard times. Alright, he's having a time of difficulty, difficult times. Example number 2, Nancy's family is going through hard times. Her father just lost his job. Losing a job is actually a hard time, a difficult time. Okay. To be in a good spirit, to be happy. To be in a good mood. In a good mood. Alright. Number 1 here, after she won the tennis tournament, Elizabeth was in a good spirit, in a good mood. Example number 2, Sam was in good spirits after receiving his Christmas bonus. He is very happy, he is in a good mood. Alright, spirit هنا means روح. He's in a good spirit means a good mood. يعني هو سعيد. Made of money means very rich. When you have a lot of money and you are a lot of money, and then you're very rich, and it's gonna be made of money. My neighbor is remodeling his house, refurbishing his house to look like Versailles. Right? Remodeling, redesigning. Okay? He doesn't have good taste, but he certainly is made of money. He has a lot of money, and he is very rich. Very rich. Example number 2, Max should be willing to loan you $10,000 to start your new business. He's made of money. He had a lot of money. He is very rich, right? And you have to know that there are some synonyms for such things. It's called loaded, rolling in dough, to have money to burn. Alright? To have money to burn. To make a splash, to make a splash, to win popularity quickly, to be very popular very quick. Alright? Example number 1, Nicole, painful cousin Cecilia from Santo Domingo, really made a splash at the high school dance. Those new jeans really made a splash after all kinds wearing them. The new song in Egypt has made a splash, which means that has become very popular in a very short period of time. Synonyms: to be a hit, something hitting, or trending. To pay someone back, to repay a loan or debt. To repay, to pay again. To pay something that you have taken for a long time as a debt, and then now you pay it back. Example number 1, Nicole paid her friend back the $10 she borrowed. Alright, she give back money. Example number 2, you can borrow $50, but don't forget to pay me back, to give me the money back. Note, pay back also means to get revenge. So this phrasal verb, along with this preposition, also means to get revenge, to take your revenge. I know you are the one who stole my car, and one day I'll think of a way to pay you back. Right? To take revenge. The context here is the most important and restricts the meaning. Pipe dream, unrealistic hope. Unrealistic, something that is unreal. Something that is imaginative. Okay? Example number 1, Susan would like to move to New Zealand and write romance novels, but she knows that's just a pipe dream, something unrealistic that cannot happen. Example number 2, you want to become a famous actor on Broadway? That sounds like a pipe dream. That is unrealistic dream. To shell out, to pay often more than one would like. Example number 1, Bob shelled out $5,000 for Nicole's piano lesson before she decided she'd rather play the flute. Right? So shell out is to pay. How much I'm going to have to shell out to get 2 tickets to the Rolling Stones concert? Shell out is good. Alright, is to pay. To take something by storm, to win popularity quickly. It's also the same as made a splash. Popularity, become famous in a very short period of time. The play, the producers really took New York by storm. Which means here the Broadway and the Times Square for the cinemas and stuff. Example number 2, the new restaurant really took Chicago by storm. You see, took someone by storm. Coronavirus took Gaza by storm. Becomes very popular in a very short period of time. Those are the breaks when something bad happens and you can't do anything about it. I mean, once we have a serious problem and then we can't do anything about it, like a natural disaster or something, then you can't do anything for it. Example number 1, by the time you got to the theater, the new Harry Potter movie was already sold out. Oh well, that's the breaks. Example number 2, the glasses fell on the rock and broke while you're fishing. Those are the breaks. I broke all the plates in the kitchen. Those are the breaks. You can't do anything. You can't reverse it back. Wise guy. That's a slang. Smart aleck. Or one who makes a lot of sarcastic comments. Number 1, when Mrs. Lee asked Joey what he wanted to be when he grew up, he said, an adult. She told him not to be such a wise guy. Example, that clerk in the video store is a real wise guy. He's always making nasty comments about the customers. Right. Wise ass, but this is very rude. Do not use it. This is an impolite way of saying that. Smart ass is very rude. Do not use such words. Right. Let's go very fast to the conversations between the Susan and Ted here, and let's see how Ted's plans go and become successful musician in the future. You are in a good spirit today, Ted. I've got good news, Mom. What is it? Amber and I are going to start a rock band. Good for you. Mom, not gonna beat around the bush. I need to borrow $1,000 for a new guitar. Ted, your father and I cannot shell out that much. We aren't made of money. You're not? I thought you were millionaires, like Donald and Ivanka Trump. Ha ha, this is not time to be a wise guy. I promise I'll pay it back. How? You're going to take the music world by storm and make lots of money. That looks like a pipe dream. Aren't high school rock bands a dime a dozen? Yeah, but we're different. With my guitar playing and Amber's beautiful voice, we're sure to make a splash. Well, we're gonna go through hard times. You're going to have to work for that $1,000. How? You can bake cookies. I bet Mrs. Clapton never made Eric bake cookies, but I guess those are the breaks. Alright? You see here, Donald Trump, the US president now, was a famous American millionaire who made his money in real estate. Ivana is his ex-wife. Alright? Eric Clapton is also a very popular guitarist, the one who plays with the guitar. Okay, let's go very fast now again for such things. Alright? A good spirit to be happy. Good for you is something good for you. Beat around the bush. He doesn't want to go around and around, not saying that, going straight to the point. She allowed to pay for that much. She can't pay that money, $1,000. Made of money is very rich. They're not very rich. It's not to be a wise guy, to be a shrewd person, very smart, and take the music world by storm to be very famous. Okay, to be a hit. A pipe dream, unrealistic dream. A dime a dozen, very common. Made a splash to make money and very popular in a very short period of time. Hard times, times of difficulty. Those are the breaks. I mean, that's the end of it. Let's listen to the conversation here very fast, right? In order to listen to authentic material. And here is gonna be number 8.
Lesson 8. Ted forms a rock band. Ted plans to become a successful musician. First, he needs Susan to loan him money for a new guitar. Susan suggests that Ted bake cookies to earn the money.
You're in good spirits today, Ted.
I've got great news, Mom.
What is it?
Amber and I are going to start a rock band.
Good for you.
Mom, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I need to borrow $1,000 for a new guitar.
Ted, your father and I can't shell out that much. We aren't made of money.
You're not? I thought you were millionaires, like Donald and Ivanka Trump.
Haha, this is no time to be a wise guy.
I promise I'll pay you back.
How?
We're going to take the music world by storm and make lots of money.
That sounds like a pipe dream. Aren't high school rock bands a dime a dozen?
Yeah, but we're different. With my guitar playing and Amber's beautiful voice, we're sure to make a splash.
Well, we're going through hard times. You're going to have to work for that $1,000.
How?
You can bake cookies.
I bet Mrs. Clapton never made Eric bake cookies. But I guess those are the breaks.
Alright. After reading these words and listen very carefully to the conversations, and I think you should be going through these questions answered by yourselves, and you can double check your answers in the page 161. And this is the end of our lesson. Thank you so much, and if you have any questions, please contact me. Take care.